Hey guys, Sergeant P here from bullpupforum.com. We're at 2017 SHOT Show. I'm at the CAA booth. Lieutenant Colonel Hartman.
How you doing?
I'm well, sir.
Good to see you.
Gentlemen, if you don't know Lieutenant Colonel Hartman, look him up. IDF, long history. Us bullpup fans mostly know who he is, and look it up. It's a good thing. But we're here today to talk about optics.
Yes, sir.
And obviously, in my world, talking about bullpups, we're talking Picatinny rails, so we're talking not specific. Let's get into this optic, though. It's something new, it's something fresh, something different.
Okay.
You've been working on this for a while.
Yes, sir. Yes, I have. Firstly, thank you for having me. I'll try not to make this too boring. When we started doing reflex sights, we tried to be a bit different, because when you look at reflex sights over the last 30 years, all you see is a window and a dot. Nothing has really changed. All of our reflex sights that I was in charge of bringing into the IDF, every single one of them only made us a faster shooter because we had one dot instead of two iron sights, but did not make us a better shooter. IDF hit rate did not go up by 1% with any reflex sight that we brought in, and we brought in 3 different ones. So I knew that when we make a reflex sight, we're gonna have to make it not only faster, but make the shooter a better one. So that was the one thing we went into. Number 2, I tried to take my experience as training the Israeli army how to shoot for 17 years. I tried taking that experience and putting into the reflex sight and making what we like to think the ultimate reflex sight. It's very different than everyone else.
So let me stop you there. And I don't want to get too far ahead,
Sure.
but I'm reading into that. So the improvement didn't occur, and are you blaming that on the reticle?
I'm blaming it almost entirely on the reticle.
That's okay. And which this one's special, and
Yep.
we're going to show it. But
Yes,
that's
yes.
fantastic.
And that was my mistake, because I'm the guy that brought in the sights into the IDF. So I just did what everyone else did, and I was wrong. I made a mistake. So this is stuff that we learned. Okay. So
Growth. That's growth. That's called growth. Yep.
Well, if I think I know too much, my wife lets me know that I don't. So it won't last too long, that thought. So real quick, what did we do with this sight that we wanted to make things different? We tried to understand what our weaknesses were on the other reflex sights, and we wanted to change them. One, we didn't want to use fiber optics. The one of our weakness points that we had in the IDF, that one of our sights used fiber optics, and that means there was a window that the lead hits the window and then comes back to my eye. What happened on the enemy side of the window, there would be like a mirror. So when sun hit that, it would give off your position. And then they have those little beehive thingies that you screw on, which help the enemy not to see it, but it also hurts you to see the enemy, because you got like tic-tac-toe all over your grid. So we didn't want to do that. We knew that. We also knew that we wanted the window to be as wide as possible. Now, field of view to me is everything. But there will be your viewers that will say field of view is nonsense in reflex sights because you shoot with two eyes open. Why do I care about the size of the window if I'm shooting 2 eyes open? I respectfully disagree. And I'll try to explain.
Please, yes.
I trained 500,000 soldiers how to shoot. In 1989, 1990, I took a company and I did not teach them to close their eye. I said, let's try it. As boot camp went on, everyone started closing their eye automatically, even though I never taught them to close an eye. Then I started studying this. When the targets are small or the range is far, people close their non-aiming eye. Add to the fact that 85% of the people are right-handed, are right eye dominant, 15% of the world are right hand strong, left eye dominant. So when they open up 2 eyes, now you're screwed, because your aiming eye is not the one your brain is working through. Add to that in the IDF, on the Tavor, we put a night vision or magnifier behind here. When you put a night vision, which we call in Hebrew shacha, it's a one-eyed night vision. When you put it here, your left eye is irrelevant at night. So what decides your field of view with your night scope? The size of the window. The larger the window, the more you see. And at night, when we're dealing a lot of times with CQB, close areas, field of view is everything. So this is why we went to the biggest window. Number 2, we had a problem that we did not want to disengage our hand and start playing with the activation buttons during battle. I cleaned a room, I want the brightness level low, I shoot outside the window, or I go outside, I want it to go out. I can't send the enemy timeout and start playing with the buttons. So we built a system that I can actually control the sight without disengaging. Yeah, this here uses an infrared laser that goes from here to here. It turns on the sight and changes brightness levels.
Using these side buttons?
Yes, or left or right, depending if you're righty or lefty. But we used a wavelength that night vision can't see, okay? So it's undetectable. So this way, this allows me to control the sight without taking my hand off. Another cool thing that we did, the angle buttons here, why would I do that? What would be a logical reason to do that? I'll tell your viewers. We did not, when you put a sight, an activation button on, you have 4 options where you put it. You put it on the left, you put it on the top, you put it on the right, or you put it on the rear. No other option. 89% of the world are right-handed. That means your left part of your sight, when you're carrying your bullpup, is against your body. So the left side, I don't care how you carry your weapon, it's always the left side against your body. So if you put an activation button here, which most people do, in my mind incorrectly, it can get caught, stuck, turned on by accident, or even worse, turned off by accident.
Yes.
Even the adapter, we're one of the only ones, we move it to the right because I don't want it to get caught in the gear. So we didn't put it on the left because of that. We didn't put it on the top because I don't know what I'm pressing. We didn't put it on the right because it's hard to get to. So we wanted to put it on the rear, by the way, as does EOTech. Now right-handed and left-handed people can get to it. Very smart in my mind. But the problem with the rear panel, with the IDF, is that we have magnifiers and we have night vision. So when you put them behind the rear panel,
Directly behind.
you have no access.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
You angled it.
We angled it and we moved the activation buttons from the middle to the sides. So right and left are identical buttons. It depends if you're righty or lefty. So even if I have a magnifier here or night vision here, even if I'm wearing gloves, I can get to the buttons. So I took the one weakness that a rear panel has and I got rid of it. But this sight I haven't even started because it's the only sight in the world that knows when you're shooting. So when the sight is aiming, it stays on. When it goes off target after a set amount of time, it will turn off. You don't know this. When you walk, the motion sensor will not turn on. You hit a bumpy road, you're running, won't turn on. When you make a shooting motion of over 20 degrees on X, Y, or Z, the sight will turn on. So we're doing this to increase battery time. We want the battery to be more time. So people will say, no, there's sights that last for 30,000, 50,000. Check them before you say that. Never believe anybody, what they say, and then don't even believe me. Check things. Okay, people throw out stuff. I'm zero parallax. No one's zero parallax. Everybody's lying. Okay, it's just fact, and it can be proven. I can explain that if people want to learn about that. So we made a motion sensor that knows one here and one here. So what happens when the sight is down, it won't wake up with a slow touch, but when it's up here, any little movement will wake it up. So now it won't fall asleep because I'm holding it, because I'm moving a little bit. But if I took the same sight and I put it on the table in my safe, it will go to sleep. But when I hold it, it won't, because it knows I'm holding it.
Is that right?
Yes, crazy stuff. Now, we are also the only sight in the world that we put in a USB port. I said to myself, guys are driving to the range all the time. They're with their cell phones. They can take their cable out of the cell phone and plug it into the USB and charge the sight as they're going to the range.
So that's kind of a lithium battery to be charged.
There's a lithium rechargeable battery inside, but we have a CR123 battery here. So I have 2 batteries here. I don't need to both. I only need one. So I can just use the rechargeable. I can just use the CR123. If I have both, when the rechargeable is done, it automatically goes into the CR123. When there are 2 hours left, the reticle will blink 5 times. And then every 10 minutes will start to blink faster and faster and faster. Change me, charge me, change me, charge me. Now, because I put a USB port, I said, what the hell? I can put this into my computer and I can customize the sight. So I can change everything about the sight. I don't want the 2 hours, I want 4 hours, no problem. The 5 brightness levels that I have for day, the 5 I have for night, you want to change them? You change them. You want to change the motion sensor tilts? You can change them. The interval that teaches you every 10 minutes, you don't want it to be 10 minutes, you want it to be 20 minutes, you want it to be 2 hours, change that. We wanted to allow the user to customize his sight, so instead of me deciding for him, he can decide for himself. So that's just some of the stuff with the memory chip inside, so when the sight goes to sleep, even for a year, you wake it up afterwards, it'll remember what brightness level was on, so it will always wake up to where it was before it went to sleep. So that's some of the features we have in the site.
Overwhelmingly good.
Too much,
Absolutely.
Too much information.
No. It and it's very digestible.
Yeah.
But those things, you've solved a lot, if not all, issues.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that reticle.
Yep.
And let's describe that and talk about it, because I know there's some planing that's going on here.
Yep. This was my mistake in the IDF. A lot of reticles and reflex sights are dots. I think people like dots because our eyes are circle, lights on our cars are circle, lights on traffic lights are circle. Something in our brain is good with circles, but for shooting it's shit. Now, I didn't know this. Now, what was the problem? When you're shooting in the infantry, downrange, far distances. If the gun is off cant, ballistics screw you. The bullet goes to the side. If your barrel, if you're not shooting like this and you're shooting like this, the bullet will go this way. Okay.
Because of the rotation.
Yes. The barrel is always going upwards. Okay. This is my line of sight. This is my barrel. So if I'm off cant, this is the direction of the round. Okay. It'll go this way if I'm straight. If I'm off cant, it goes this way. The barrel always runs after where the sight is. So wherever the sight is, that's where the bullet goes. Okay. So when I'm off cant and I have a dot, it looks like a dot from every single angle. I don't even know I'm off cant. I don't have any check and balances on me. So if I'm crooked and I'm using a dot, I don't know I'm crooked because it looks like a dot from every angle. So I said, okay, that's not good. So I put a dot and I put balancing lines at 3 at 9 o'clock. I put those lines there, so now I know that if I'm off cant like a pilot, I can now fix myself. And if I put in the lines already, let's use them for range estimation, because the enemy doesn't say I'm at 170 yards. How do I know where the enemy is? So with these lines, like in binoculars, you can judge distance. 100, 200, and 400 yards we can do inside the reticle. That's what we had. So
by judging the minute of angle at the size of those.
Yes, but I don't want anyone to start doing math. Math kills you. So if a dot falls on a head, he knows he's at 300 yards. If a line falls on a target, he knows he's at 100 yards. I don't want him to start doing math. I was a sniper, a scout sniper. I'm a champion shooting of Israel. This is what I did. You know, I brought in the Tavor into the IDF. I was the first guy with the Tavor. I'm the guy that brought in the micro Tavor. So I understand a little bit of what I'm talking about, not too much. But what I tried doing was, I'm sorry, that's too much. I'm going to say goodbye. Okay.
It's absolutely.
Okay. You can edit some out.
No. This is going to run straight. I'm telling you, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Well, I'm super excited about it. I will say that reticle is fast too.
Thank you.
I pick it up fast.
Yep.
And then that cant is natural.
Yep.
Your brain's going there.
The brain does it automatically.
Absolutely, super simple. Really excited about it. So distribution very soon.
Yeah. We have actually sold every sight that has been hit the market already is out the door. So I don't think there's one dealer that has something in his stores. They're all going out. We just got to get them out. They've been, in the last 3 months, we've been supplying. By the way, not only to America, but all over the world.
Sure.
So it's been going great so far. Everybody's been great to us.
MSRP price
It's
point?
$650, and the map is $595. It's a lot high range. It's mill standard, obviously, water, mud, dirt, on all of that stuff. You can kill it. You can't see the reticle from the other side. Some of the sides you can. So it's a very strong sight, very, very robust.
Okay, last thing. So this is not an option. This comes with it?
No, this is an option. It's an aftermarket. This is a $50 retail.
$50.
MSRP, and the user interface is also an aftermarket.
The user interface to
They
plug
can
into your
change.
computer.
Correct.
Right. And then this strap, as far as fitting on things, I'm feeling.
It has Velcro, so you can make it as big if you have a big Picatinny on all four, whatever the small ones, big ones, it fits everybody.
Good. Okay. Really exciting. It's a great reticle. Guys, you got to see this thing. Look up the Lieutenant Colonel. It's fun to sit around and talk to him. Watch these videos. It's excellent.
Thank you, buddy.
Mikey, thank you so much. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.